Savannah here of Sewlivi Dyes Yarn, and yes, we're in my living room today. We have an orange cat. His name is Orange, sleeping up there. This video is going to be in, I think, several parts for this week at least. I forgot to film yesterday on Sunday, so today is Monday, September 19th. I did forget to film yesterday. I actually was outside working on a project for the entire day, which I will talk about later in the second part of this video. Everything's going to be edited into one, so it's not like part one today, part two tomorrow, or anything like that. Just continue to watch or skip wherever you want to in this video. I'm going to go ahead. I have two whips to show you. I think that's all I can show you in this little clip. And then I have yarn that I dyed that I want to show you, and then what I was working on, this big project. I think that is it, to be honest. I don't think I had any acquisitions come in. No, I don't think I had anything come in. So yes, we'll go ahead and get started. I do have one yarn that it was like a, I don't know what you want to call it. I did dye one yarn with some new colors, so I can show you that. But let me go ahead and show you my whips. So the first one is the Alpenglow by Andrea Mowry. So I've been working on this guy, and I'm going to be honest, I exceeded my goal for September by a lot. I finished the body last week. So where you see that stitch marker, that is where I was last Sunday when I last filmed. And I finished the entire body before the weekend because I did almost no knitting this weekend. I was really busy. And if I can remember to, when I do my second clip of this video, I might talk more in depth. But this is where I'm at. I didn't extend it. Well, I did actually. I think I did one. Sorry, I did one more repeat. I know the lighting is crazy and it hasn't been blocked or anything yet. So my spin cycle did get pretty gray in these last three ones, and then it went right back to this blue for the ribbing. But yes, I knew this pattern was going to be, this body was going to be quick for me because it was a pattern, a 10 round repeat, which made it so much easier to knit quickly. Again, I added one more extra repeat just for a little bit of length. And then you have this two color, I don't know, is it called corrugated ribbing? I don't know. It was the first time I've done this. It was a little different, but nothing too crazy. Floats. And then this is a slip stitch mosaic color work back here, so it's not crazy. But yeah, this is my Alpenglow so far. I just figured out how to, the sleeve instructions for the Alpenglow are a little different. There's a lot of instructions. It took me a minute to figure out how to understand it, but I got it last night, so I think I'll be on a roll with the sleeves once I get back into knitting. So yeah, not very much at all. What do I want to say? Yarn is mainly Sewlivi Dyes yarn, my yarn, except for the spin cycle, which is the color work throughout. So we'll see how that plays out on the sleeves. But I did try this on, and it felt weird at first being up here, but I did wear it for probably a good 5 minutes, 10 minutes maybe, and it did start to feel better. I kind of like the way that it looked, even though it is cropped and it's like 0 or negative ease. We'll see what happens once I once I block this, wash and block it, but yeah. So crazy sauce, how nice and quickly this went. If I can get my act together, maybe I can have it done by the end of the month. I'm not gonna hold my breath, but it'd be nice if I could, since the Stephen West mystery knit along is about to happen, and I still have the Joji Locatelli fall knit along, which I haven't worked on at all. I've been just working on this. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. And then my other whip is my wipgo project for the month. So normally wipgo is like bingo. It was invented by this lady named Jessie Marie. Her YouTube is Jessie Marie Does Stuff. She is predominantly a cross stitcher, but she came up with this like challenge for herself a couple years back, and then extended it to anybody who wanted to. And then I decided to try this year. So you make a bingo board and you fill in each box, like it's 1 through 25, and then you fill in whatever projects you want to work on, whether it's new cast-ons or whips. I did kind of a bit of both at the beginning of the year, and I also randomized my numbers so it wasn't the same as everybody else's. So she's not calling like so you'd put wipgo instead of bingo. She's not calling like B something or anything like that. It's just a random number, 1 through 25. And so every month it's 2 numbers. This month I decided to not do what one of the numbers was, because I don't need another cast on right now. So the other one was a whip, and it was my, what's it called? Color therapy blanket. It is a free pattern by Warm Stripes, and it is a scrappy project that I started last December, and I'm not too far on it because it's very seldom that I actually knit on this, and I'm in the middle of a row. Fun. So here it is. You can see I'm in the middle of a row. It is an all over seed stitch blanket, and you hold 5 strands of yarn, 5 strands of fingering weight yarn together, and you knit it on a, what is this, an 8mm US 11 8mm needle. So nice big chunky. You're using 5 strands of yarn. I have one main color going throughout the entire thing, which is just a plain white undyed yarn, this one right here. And then I am just grabbing a new color every time one runs out. And I do the magic join. Is it called the magic knot method of joining my colors. So yeah, this is, I originally was starting with my advents that I had last year, but then I was like, you know what, let's just go ahead and start adding in random bits so that it's more scrappy-esque. So where's my stitch marker? Okay, here it is. So this is where I was last time. I don't know if I showed this in my last video, possibly. So this is where I was. I've done that much so far. It's really pretty, the colors, the way that they're playing together. And I think I have a few more days. So my goal is to work 1 week, 7 days on each wipgo project. I think I've done 3 or 4 on this so far this month. So I need to do a couple more and then I'll be good. I do wish this was a little bit more portable, but definitely not when it's all like this. And these are just my small scraps. This is not including my leftovers, like 30 plus grams per skein kind of thing. I think once I dwindle down on this, I might start breaking off some yarn from there, but yeah. Okay, so that's all my whips. I have been spinning as well. Here's my wheel right here. So I bought some fiber to dye. I thought I'd like to try that. So I did this fiber a while back, and I finally freed up my wheel This is the last bundle. I was able to manage splitting this kind of evenly 3 ways. So I'm going to try a traditional 3-ply. So here's my first bobbin. I don't know if there's the same amount on this as the other 2 bobbins, but we'll find out. I'm excited to see how this turns out. But yeah, I've been spinning a little bit. This is what I did on Saturday. So I did no knitting on Saturday. I just spun, but then again, I only had like this much time out of the entire day. So. Okay, I'll just go ahead and show you this. I got 3 new colors of dye recently, and I tested them out together. I'm not too thrilled with this blue, but I think I was a little heavy-handed. I just sprinkled the dye all over. This will be a really pretty color, and then I have a platinum gray in there. Super lovely. So I'm excited to maybe come up with some colors, new colorways using these colors. We'll see. Anyways, but yeah, this was just a random skein of yarn that I decided to test colors on. I will go ahead and show you. I'll leave you here for now. I'm going to eat lunch, and then I'll try to pick back up afterwards and show you what I dyed for my Stephen West, the West Knits MCal, the mystery knit along. I'll show you the colors I came up with that, and then my big project that I've been working on. There it goes. All right, back in a minute. All right, thank you for waiting so patiently for those few seconds while I had my lunch. I did have an acquisition. That's the word. I had one. I ordered buttons for this guy. This is the Miles shirt jacket, which, let's see here for a sec. You can see a little bit better when I don't have the ring light on. Maybe a little bit. I ordered buttons, 2 different styles because I wasn't entirely sure. These are plastic buttons. I got these off Etsy. I think the store was called Trim Gem, to be honest. I'm just pulling out 1 button each. But I ordered the other buttons in here. I ordered like 5. I think one set was 5 and the other set was like 8 of them, but either way, irrelevant, right? So this brownish, let me get the light back on maybe. So this brownish one, like a turquoise, or not turquoise, oh my gosh, tortoise shell. And then this, I thought this gray and black one was kind of nice. It is a little bit bigger, but they do both fit through the buttonholes. So I'm just not sure yet if I want to do the big gray ones, which look quite nice, or if I want to do the brown one and have it kind of disappear. Sorry about that. So we got the grays, which looks nice, or the brown. I'm not sure yet. Ooh, I'm not sure yet. I also have not added the pockets, if I didn't mention that. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Sorry. So yeah, buttons. So I think I need to do that sometime this week, get this finished up, because we are headed into chillier weather, and that's very exciting. It is 81 degrees Fahrenheit currently. It says a high of 82 today, and then I think the same tomorrow as well, which is not fun at all. But yeah, I believe this is it that came in the mail that was craft related. Okay, put that up there. All right, now I can show you the yarns that I dyed for the shawl. Oops. Okay, so I struggled with choosing a colorway terribly. a lot of people have very beautiful colorway sets already made up. Like I've been seeing some on Instagram, getting emails from yarn companies that I'm subscribed to, just beautiful colorways. But I had also looked online, like I googled 3-color combo sets, because you just need 3 colors for this mystery knit along shawl. And so I did that a while back, and I took screenshots of the ones that I loved the most, loved a lot of them, and I didn't know if I wanted to go really soft and subtle or if I wanted to be bold and bright. I actually really liked one from Fangirl Fibers that was like a pastel pink, a pastel purple, and then black as the accent color. And I was like, that'd be really pretty too. But I was like, would that, I mean, yes, I would still wear it regardless of the colors, but I was like, do I really want something like that? So honestly, what I did was I picked my 2 favorite, which was the Fangirl Fibers colorway, the 3 colorway, her He-Man colorway, I think it was called. And then one from the screenshots that I took off the internet. And both of them had like a purpley color in it. So I started there. I started with the purples. So this is what I came up with. It's a pinky purple, still kind of pastel, but not really. Definitely not in person. I don't know. It's a nice, it's a lilac-y purple, I guess you could say. Again, with some pink bits. I dyed this on a single space. This is my first time. I didn't bring the label down with me. I believe it's just 100% non-superwash, fine organic merino. So it was my first time, and I don't think I enjoy dyeing this base. It was really hard to get the colors even, which I didn't at all. And because I was trying to go for solids, not really tonals, and it didn't really want to take dark dye very well. And then I was really worried about felting it since it's non-superwash, and it is single ply. I was a little bit like this tie kind of felted a little bit, but this is the color I went with. And then I kind of just decided from there which way I was going to go. Would I do pink and black, or would I do this other colorway that I liked? I ended up going with the other one. I just wanted something a little different, something, I guess you could say a little bit neutral, but not really. It was really beautiful. So the color combo is called Above the Clouds, and it was absolutely beautiful. I think it's the creamy orange that really got me, and then the navy blue. So my blue turned out, there's cat hair all over it, unfortunately. My blue turned out like this. So you can see, look, the lights and the darks. This base just did not want to take it evenly, no matter how hard I tried. Definitely waited before adding the vinegar, my acid, and it's still, but it's gonna be beautiful. See, look at that pretty. So yeah, this is my, I don't know which one's gonna be my main and which one's gonna be my contrasting, but these are the 2 colors. And then my most beautiful, my accent color is this pretty color. So it's not coming out as true on the camera screen as it is in person. It did start out pretty yellow when I first dyed it, and then I threw it back in the bath and added a little bit of peach to it, and I've never dyed a color this color before. And it's really pretty. And I don't have anything that I've hand knit myself with a color similar to this. So I'm pretty excited. So that'll be my accent color. So let me go ahead and show you. Those are my colors. The blue could be a little bit more blue, and the purple could be a little bit more deeper to match that 3-color sample that I found, but I'm happy. I am very happy with these colors. I think it'll be lovely. Again, I do have a lot of blue and brown shawls, I have a blue and pink one. A blue and pink, blue and brown, but I don't have anything like this, so this is gonna be fun. Again, all of them are on that singles base. I did dye up some for my friend Nicole. You might know her as I drink and I stitch things. I always get it backwards. I think it's I drink and I stitch things. She's only on Instagram. I dyed her up a set. She chose a colorway. I'm not going to show that on here. If you do follow her on Instagram, she'll probably show it when she gets it. I have not sent it to her yet, but I really enjoy her colors too. I will say hers is more of a tealy. She's got a deeper blue than this. There's a teal and then a very bright green, chartreuse green. Gorgeous colors. Absolutely lovely. That would make a really wonderful set as well, but these are mine. Here, let's turn off this real quick and see what happens. Yeah, that's a little bit closer. Yeah, I think those will be really lovely. Really lovely to wear. All right, so let's go into story time / my big project that I've been working on, which I'm going to have to probably back you up a bit to show you. Okay, so Salida Fiber Festival. I know I talked about this in the past. When we were in Salida, we did go into one of those little craft stores. It was a little like independently owned craft store. And I saw a triangle loom, which was crazy because I've been watching this lady on Instagram, or I've been following her, Dunspun. She spins fiber. She does bats. She cards. She does a whole bunch of stuff with fiber. But lately she's been doing reels with a triangle loom and weaving triangle shawls. And I was like, that is really fascinating. It actually looks fun. I'm not a big fan of weaving like the kind where you would sit at a big loom. Not that I have room for I think my point is that those big looms are really scary. They take up a lot of room. It looks like a lot of work just to get it set up. Not my jam. So I've never been interested in weaving. But once I saw that triangle loom, I was like, holy buckets, that looks so easy. You don't have to do any like real prep work. It's just you wrap it around the pegs a certain way, and there you go. You got yourself a shawl. So I was like, nice. Again, I saw it. When I saw it on Instagram, I didn't look into it on the internet at all. Just was like, oh, that's cool. Something interesting. And then when I was at that craft store, they had several of them, different sizes, hanging on the wall. And I'm just like, oh, they have them here. That's amazing. And so I went and looked at the price, and I was like, oh, that's really expensive. I wonder if I can make my own. So I go and Google, I do some Googling this last 2 weeks maybe, just to see, if there's any information on the internet. There's very little, I should say, very little information on making your own. But now that I know, I know. Anyways, so I, when you type in like DIY triangle loom, Etsy comes up first, and Etsy is selling them, and they range anywhere from $90 to $300. And I'm like, what the heck? That is so expensive. And these things aren't, you can get any size. Like you can get a tiny little one, little tiny one, a 2-foot one, all the way up to like a 7-foot. And I think there's also adjustable ones where you can make any size with it. So yeah, they definitely range, but it's a huge thing. So it's like, how would you get it shipped? That's another thing. Again, I'm like, this is something that I should be able to make. It's just 3 pieces of wood and a bunch of nails. Easy, right? So Googled, found some instructions, tried following one set of instructions, was not good instructions. They said to, so this is all on Friday. Sorry, my storytelling is horrible. Friday, I have the day off. Kids are still in school. So I dyed up all this yarn and I decided to run and do some errands at the same time. So I stop over at Lowe's because I was close by getting cat food. And I pick up material. Well, the instructions I found said you're going to need 2 8-foot boards, you know, the boards, which is like a 2x1. You just need 2x1s, but you need 8-foot, or whatever size you want. And so I get that, I get some nails, and I don't know how many nails to get, so I just get like 4 boxes of the nails that I want to use. And I go home, and I'm like, okay. So I set them off to the side, and I continue on with the dyeing and other things. And then right before I have to go pick up the kids, I decide to take the wood out, and I'm looking at it, rereading the instructions, and I'm like, I need 3 pieces of wood. It's a triangle. You need 3 pieces. You're not cutting one of the boards in half to make the triangle. So I'm like, what the heck? These are horrible instructions. So I run back to Lowe's real quick before I get the kids and grab one more piece of wood. I accidentally grabbed 6-foot boards. But to be honest, now that it's built, that's totally fine. The 8-foot ones would have been really big. Granted, the instructions say to cut it down to 7 foot, so it would be a 7-foot loom. I think mine honestly is, I think it's just 6 feet. I know my boards were 6 feet, so I don't know exactly my dimensions. Like, I haven't measured it since. I think it is close to 6.5 feet. I don't know. I haven't measured it. Anyways, so after I get the kids, bring them home, I have the boards laid out, and I'm trying to figure out how I am supposed to assemble this frame. It's not difficult. It's just 45-degree cuts, which I have one of those saws, table saws or whatever, the kind where you bring it down and you can move it 45 degrees or any degree really. So that's not the problem. I know how to cut a 45-degree angle. I don't know where to cut these 45 degrees. Since I accidentally got 6-foot boards instead of, in the instructions, she used 8 feet. So she was like, you're going to cut this at 7 foot and then you're just going to, so I was like, oh, crap. Because I was really worried that my top bar was going to be kind of slanted. You know, I was a little worried because I wanted to get as much length out of it as I could. Because I didn't want to make tiny shawls. I am a big shawl kind of lady, so I wanted to make big shawls. So I was like, okay, well, we're going to make do with what I got. I'm not going to return this and get 8 feet boards. I'm just going to, you know, because I laid out the boards and I took my biggest shawl, which is my, is it called What the Fade? Yes, because the Find Your Fade. What the Fade by Andrea Mowry. It's my biggest shawl. Absolutely love it. It's very comfortable, big, drapey, perfect. So I lay it in the center and it matches up. Like it pretty much fits in the center of the board. So I was like, okay, this is good. There is going to be some shrinkage with this as well, but that's okay. I think it's going to be fine. So my husband gets home and I kind of explain what I want to do. And he's like, okay, well, we'll figure it out in the morning, Saturday morning. And so Saturday morning we get up, he helps me figure out how to assemble this. And I'm like, cool, thanks. You know, we get it cut, we get it all attached. And that's as far as I could get for the day. Cause we also, went to Oktoberfest in Castle Rock on Saturday. It was so packed. Like, the lines were atrocious it was all outdoors. There was a bunch of food trucks, and then there was tents, you know, beer tents and other things. The lines were so long that my husband and my friends were waiting forever to get beer. I didn't want anything. I don't like beer. I think beer is disgusting, to be honest. So I was like, whatever. Plus, I had the kids to manage and hope they didn't get lost in the craziness that was Oktoberfest. So I didn't get much done after that. Again, so I didn't knit on Saturday at all. When I did get home later that evening, I had like 2 hours before bedtime because I like to go to bed at a certain time. So I just spun for a little bit and watched TV. Okay. And then Sunday I get up and I'm like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and put all these nails in the board and I'm just going to do this. So I read instructions, I find another set of instructions, and then I find a third set of instructions, and I'm just reading all of it because I'm just like, I need to know exactly how this is going. I know that they said you need, you got your top and you have however many nails that you put in it, and most everybody says they put all those nails at 1/2 inch. Like they put them all at 1/2 inch, and then they say the ones on the sides, that has to have the same number that you put on the top, but because they're shorter sides, they're going to be closer together, and that's usually about 1/4 inch. So I'm like, okay, so it's a 1/2 inch, and then I'm going to measure and mark 1/4 inch all the way down. So I go ahead and do the whole top part. I count how many nails I get put in there, and then I'm like, okay, now I got to figure out how to measure and put all those in there because nobody's instructions really explained how to find that measurement. Nobody. I was like, okay, this is confusing. Maybe my husband, because math, my husband does better. Our neighbor even came over and tried doing math with us and tried to figure this out. And I kept getting way too many. I know, I'm going to pull this out in a minute. Way too many nails, marks down the side. And I'm like, I have so many pencil marks down the side because I tried. Like, my husband was having to find the millimeter measurements just because it wasn't hitting any inch. Like, he was getting 8.32 millimeters. And he's like, how the heck am I going to... It wasn't working. It wasn't working at all. And when I say it took all day, I mean it took all day. I went out there at probably 9 o'clock in the morning, and I'm not even finished. I ran out of nails. But by the time I was done, it was probably close to 6 o'clock in the evening. Like, I was doing everything and anything. We were to the point where we were almost ready to just scrap this one and go and buy more material and try again because I just couldn't figure it out. So sitting there scrolling through my phone looking for more instructions, just seeing if there's anybody who has any kind of instructions that might be helpful. And I stumbled across one. It's like deep into Google. And hers were the best. Hers was the best. All she said was, go ahead and mark your top rail with all your markings. So you're supposed to do this before you're putting in nails. Just mark it. And she's like, and then find your center mark. Well, I had already put in the nails for the top one. So my husband and I I was like, oh, please let me have put one dead center. And I did. Thank God I did. I put one dead center, and you take a T-square ruler, like a T ruler. Thankfully, my husband has a giant one. We have a giant ruler, T-square, whatever you want to call it. And you line up that middle with the point at the bottom. And then you just mark it. And then she says, go ahead and line up that T ruler. You draw like a guideline down the side. Just a straight line. And then take your T ruler and line it up with the top mark. And then go down to your sideboard and mark it. And do it all the way up. She's like, that will be halfway. And then you do it on the other side. That'll be halfway. Now mark in the middle of every mark that you made along the sides. And that worked. I didn't have to do any math. It just worked. And so, let me see here. This is huge. So, I have to rearrange a little bit down here in the basement to find a wall big enough to hang this on. Because this is bigger than what I thought it was going to be. So, again, I still think you're too close. Ooh. Here is my triangle loom. So yes, I have all the nails in here. I have all the nails down the one side right here, and then I have all the nails down to here. So I still from here all the way down that I need to add in. I just need to go buy some more nails. And then hang this on the wall, and then it's good to go. Easy to use. You do pre-drill all the holes for the nails prior to putting the nails in. That way you don't split the wood. And so my drill is pretty large. It didn't want to hold the smallest drill bit that we had. So thankfully my neighbor let me borrow his. I did have to charge it a few times because there's so many holes. And then I did break a drill bit. So thankfully enough, the drill bits that my husband has, what do you want to call it? We had two of the exact same size, like the smallest size available. So I was like, okay, well, I accidentally broke this one. I'm really sorry. But thankfully we have another one. So yeah, everything's pre-drilled on this side that needs to be done. As you can see, this is very large. Again, it's the shawls. Once you pull them off the pegs, it does shrink a little bit. But I'm excited to try this. So a lot of people use these on artist easels. They just hang these on an easel and work from. But I think I'll be able to just, I have the hallways just around that way. And we have a big wall in the hallway. So I think if I just clean up in there in the hallway, because we have some things along the wall, so rearrange, clean up, put things away, I can hang this on the wall and it can stay. If not, let me turn you my big calyx unit. I really do hope you can hear me. I'm sorry. This is as big as my calyx unit. And if I get some hooks to attach to the, shelving, I can just hang this here and work from it, and then move it when I need to get to my yarn. Just let me. So yeah, I do hope that the audio wasn't too bad at the end. I'll try to fix it if it was. But yes, that has been my giant project this weekend. It was really a struggle. So this one's not perfect. One side has just the right number of pegs. The other side has one missing, but I think that's because I didn't have you have your center peg, and then you're supposed to do the same amount out. I have an even number, so one side is less, one nail less. And I didn't really want to add it in, because then it would have made it kind of like you have your board, and I have like, my nails are along the like a ½ inch in from the center. I didn't want to go any further in. So I added the extra peg to the other side of the bottom point. I don't think it's going to mess it up too bad. So we'll see. So this one's kind of just like a prototype. It's our first try. One of the boards is kind of warped, so it's not a perfect at one side at the top. I don't think that is going to mess with it in any way. I did accidentally put everything on the wrong side of the loom as well. So my husband made this beautiful triangle. I sanded it like crazy, and I had picked a side that was going to be the front, and I didn't even check before I started drilling holes. I put it all on the back. So that means that there's a little chunk at the bottom in the wood where a brad nail is kind of sticking out just a little, and the wood is chipped, so it could snag my yarn if I don't cover it up with, I think I'll try to find like a little piece of felt and glue it down just to protect it. But if I do enjoy weaving on this thing, I think I will go ahead and buy more material and make a better one. Like, I will take my husband with me, and we will pick our best boards. I did okay. Like, 2 of the boards are really nice. The third board was just slightly like turned like this a little bit, halfway through. I'm wondering if that's the last one I grabbed when I had to make a quick another stop at Lowe's. But it looked straight when I grabbed it. Anyways, so that is, yeah, just another hobby, right? But I can use what I have in stash. A lot of people use hand spun for these. I've watched a couple people make some pretty plaid ones, so I'm excited to learn a little bit more about that. Yeah, I'm excited about this. Can't wait to get it done. I don't know if I'll be able to get the nails today. I'd love to, but I have to pick up the kids soon, so anyways, yeah. I think that is it. I think that is it. Yes. I do hope that you all had a wonderful last week and that this week will be just as great for you. I don't think there's anything else I wanted to mention. Yeah. Sorry guys. I'll see you next week, okay? Bye.